There's three products in Australia I remember in particular, where demand went crazy and supply took a little bit of time to catch on. Now, what I need you to do is tell me, was the same in Brazil or not, right? The first is toilet paper. Like, people ran out of toilet paper. You'd go to our grocery stores and there'd be limits, one toilet paper packaging per person kind of thing. Did the same thing happen in Brazil?
Um, I don't remember seeing that in the market, but then I remember people having this, this orientation saying, don't take more than we actually need. Because I think we have this kind of disruptions in terms of, because people are getting sick, and then we have disruptions in, who is going to drive the trucks to bring the products to the market, or who's going to be doing the packaging in the industry to get the product done and available down the aisle in the market. So while they have this kind of situation, so they were not limiting, but they were orienting people not to buy more than they needed, actually.
Right.
Because then everybody would have the right, not the right, but then will have the opportunity to buy whatever they need.
Definitely. And I think FOMO really kicked in, the fear of missing out. Everyone's like, oh my God, if I don't buy it, somebody else will buy it, then I won't have it. And if I need to go to the bathroom, what do I do? So people were freaking out. The second one was hand sanitizer. Like, if you think pre-pandemic, who buys hand sanitizer, right? And then as soon as the pandemic happened, everyone was like, I need hand sanitizer. Like, people went crazy. Was it the same in Brazil as well?
Yes, it was. It was at the beginning of the pandemics. We couldn't find, the sanitizer, the hand sanitizer anywhere. Or when you could, it was expensive, really expensive, because people were going crazy over that.
Yeah. Now, Brazil is a huge producer of ethanol. So from a production perspective of hand sanitizers, did you see a huge, manufacturers change their business model to make hand sanitizers and divert some of the ethanol supply to that industry as well?
What I remember seeing is one of the beverage companies, one of the biggest ones, I think it's Ambev. They allowed some of because they purchased that for producing the alcoholic beverages. So they kind of, put together somewhere to help. And if I'm not mistaken, they try to divert a little bit, but more not to make money out of it, but more in a social environment, more to, to help the society.
A good gesture.
It was a good gesture. Yeah, I would say that.
Excellent.
But I didn't see that much diversion, no.
Yeah, here was crazy. Like, here, you had beer companies, you had wine companies, like traditional vineyards that make wine. They were going into hand sanitizers. Like, it was crazy. It's like everyone in their backyard started basically making it, but from a business context, not from actual people making it. Like, price of ethanol here went up quite a bit. So it was a very interesting time. And now we have an oversupply of it. Like, there's so much hand sanitizer in the market, but nobody wants it anymore. So that's also a challenging period. I imagine in the commodities market, you probably face something similar as well, right? In the sense, when demand goes up, producers start going, okay, let's build up our production, so the supply goes up. And then as soon as demand drops, like, you probably see huge swings in that particular respect.
Yeah, if we think about the ethanol market, especially, usually when we have the industry who is actually, using the sugar cane to produce it, they can have a mix. They can choose if they want to, maximize the production of sugar or ethanol. So then probably during the more difficult time, I wasn't looking directly at that point, so I cannot tell you, I don't have the answer, but probably they would have switched a little bit the production, because then probably it's going to be like ethanol is going to be valuing more than the sugar, so they can switch it and they can change the production according to that.
Interesting.
So that could be something that has happened.
Interesting. And the third product, which was super, like, nobody used it before pandemic, but everybody needed it, was face masks. Was that a difficult thing to get in Brazil, or was that like also a big thing where everyone was like, oh my God, face masks, where do I get them from?
I think here, when they started saying that we could use, these cloth masks instead of just using the surgical ones, then that opened up a market, because then we can have like small, sewers. No, how can I say not sewer? Who sew.
Oh, right, like weavers, like people that sew stuff.
Yeah, but I forgot. There's a name, a seamstress. No, I don't know the word in English for
Like they
that.
work with clothes, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they work.
How do you say it in Portuguese?
Costureira.
That sounds good to me. Let's keep going.
And then they could use, you know, their strengths to produce masks and then make extra money selling those.
Interesting.
And yeah. And then at the beginning, it was more like that. People, you know, just trying to combine the clothes with the masks and things like that. And then I think the surgical ones was a little bit in shortage, but then of course production is just balanced out, and now we have enough, and we can buy it wherever you go, we can buy them.
Right,
But
right.
they're still expensive. If you want to buy, you know, the most, you know, there is the most efficient ones, the ones
The
that you use.
N95?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Those are still expensive.
Yeah. Same here. N95s are still expensive. The normal face masks, they're very, very affordable now.
Exactly.
Cloth masks, like even though from a health perspective, I believe they said it's not as effective as surgical masks, they still keep getting sold out everywhere. So I guess it is quite popular. In saying that, like now in Australia, what's happening is the market's opening up, everything's opening up. Lockdowns have pretty much ended everywhere. And mask restrictions have also been taken out as well. So what's going to be interesting to see is like how much oversupply we have in the market, and you know, like how quickly the demand just drops, basically. So that's going to be really interesting to see. Yeah.
But it's interesting to hear that they are already dropping the need to use masks everywhere. Here, we still need to use them, but I think people are getting tired of, you know, and then whenever they have a chance, they just, you know, drop it. And
Exactly. And I think that's probably what it is, in the sense like people are finding it too difficult to have people follow the rules. So like if you're a business, right, and someone walks in without a mask and your business is struggling, do you tell them, hey, put your mask back on? Or do you say, hey, keep shopping, I'm just going to put my mask on? Like, you know, it seems like that's why, the mask mandates are basically being taken away. Yeah,
I think here it's going to take a little while, but at least the vaccination is actually improving around here.